Please remain standing. I can't see whether you're standing. Are you standing? If you're not standing, then please stand and join us in the singing of the national anthem. Please be seated. Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and especially our graduates and diplomats, their families and friends. It is my great pleasure on behalf of the University of Southern Queensland to welcome you to the 2017 USQ Graduation Ceremony for Business and Commerce, Creative Arts and Media, Humanities and Communication, Information Technology, and Law and Justice. My name is Professor Aileen Cater-Steele, and I am the Chair of Academic Board of the University and Professor of Information Systems. In the spirit of reconciliation, the University of Southern Queensland recognises that it is situated on country for which the Djarowa and Gayabul people have been custodians for many centuries, and on which they have performed age-old ceremonies of celebration, initiation, and renewal. We acknowledge their living culture and unique role in the life of this region and offer our deep appreciation for their contribution to and support of our academic enterprise. Today, we are honoured by the company of many distinguished guests, and it is my very pleasant duty to acknowledge their presence. In addition to our Chancellor, Mr. John Dornbush, and our Vice-Chancellor, Professor Geraldine Mackenzie, and her husband, Mr. Keith Mackenzie, we welcome our graduation speaker for today's ceremony and honorary award recipient, the Honourable Dame Quentin Bryce, AD CVO, former Governor-General of Australia. We welcome our honorary award recipients, Professor Peter Goodall and his guests, and Mrs. Helen Fletcher, who will accept a posthumous award on behalf of Professor Brunel Irwi. We also welcome Dr. John McVeigh, MP, Member for Groom, Mr. Pat Ware, MP, Member for Condamine, Mr. David Janetsky, MP, Member for Toowoomba South, Mr. Kerry Shine, Founder of Shine Lawyers, Ms. Jenny Butler, the Executive Director Studies of TAFE Queensland, Mr. Wayne Fossey, USQ Elders and Valued Persons Advisory Board, and Mr. John Ellich and Mr. Roger Lay of the St Vincent de Paul Society. Welcome to long-time friends and ardent supporters of our university, Dr. Brian Carter, Mrs. Leah Rappaport. We also welcome the Deputy Chancellor of USQ Council, Ms. Jan Boys. And we welcome many other distinguished members of our community whose names I may not have mentioned, but whose presence is equally valued by the university. I welcome the Deputy Vice-Chancellors, the Executive Dean, and all my colleagues here on stage who have formed the academic procession, and our many colleagues from the university whose presence here today, either as part of the audience or as officials, is no less important than that of our distinguished guests. And let me again extend a very warm welcome to our soon-to-be graduates, their families and friends. This is your day, and this graduation ceremony truly is a proud celebration of your achievements. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to you all. It is now my very pleasant duty to invite the Chancellor of the University, Mr. John Dornbush, to formally welcome you to today's ceremony.
Deputy Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, graduands, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As Chancellor, it is indeed my pleasure to welcome you to this afternoon's graduation ceremony, and especially to celebrate with our newest graduands from the disciplines of business and commerce, creative arts and media, humanities and communication, information technology, and from law and justice. I want to extend a very warm welcome to our incoming Vice-Chancellor, Professor Geraldine Mackenzie, and on behalf of the US Council to acknowledge and say thank you to Professor Janet Verbeler, who has acted as Interim Vice-Chancellor since the beginning of the year. It is also my very great pleasure to welcome our graduation speaker, the Honourable Dame Quentin Bryce, AD, CVO, former Governor of Queensland and Governor-General of Australia. Dame Quentin, I am delighted you could be with us today, and I very much look forward to your address and to also conferring you with the honorary degree of Doctor of the University. Ladies and gentlemen, graduation ceremonies are truly wonderful moments in the life of the university. Not only are they a celebration of our students' success, they also mark the culmination of years of hard work each and every graduate has given to their studies. It is also a time when I want to recognise the very significant role that family and friends have given to the success of those graduating today. Success is not a single journey. I always look forward to our graduation ceremonies held in this magnificent theatre, featuring the original Art Deco styling and architecture of the 1930s. The Empire has become the cultural hub of Toowoomba, and it is a fitting venue for today's graduation ceremonies, as we celebrate this year our 50th year as a higher education provider and 25 years as a university. When, a little over 5 decades ago, community leaders from across our region gathered to put in place their plans to bring higher education closer to the local people, I'm sure they would be delighted to see the results of their endeavours seated here today in this magnificent theatre. Together with the support and encouragement of the community, USQ continues its promise of being innovative, progressive and welcoming to all students, no matter their nationality, beliefs or background. I am proud to tell you that USQ has graduated close to 100,000 students who have gone on to influence and inspire others across the globe. These achievements could not have been realised without the commitment and dedication of our many staff and supporters who are prepared to push the boundaries to take on new ideas, concepts and approaches to our teaching and research initiatives. USQ has forged a reputation as a strong performer in the Australian higher education sector, recognised in particular for its outstanding performance in the current Good Universities Guide for graduate employment and commencing salary, student support and social equity. While these figures are gratifying, there are always challenges ahead, and USQ, like every organisation, must look to its future and chart a path that will determine growth, development, prosperity, and inclusiveness. As a regional university, we are determined to continue to develop and grow our educational and research contributions to regional, economic, social, cultural, and environmental development. We will also maintain our focus on playing an important and distinctive role in advancing Australia's national prosperity, productivity, and identity. 2 years ago, USQ established a student endowment fund, the income from which is being used to fund scholarships for qualifying students in need of support. I'm delighted to say that in our anniversary year, USQ has provided bursaries, scholarships and grants to nearly 1,400 students, along with establishment grants for international research students coming to the university to take up postgraduate qualifications. Graduands, I hope you will maintain your contact with USQ and through your alumni association share with others the knowledge, experience and networks you have established. In closing, to those graduating, I say congratulations and good luck with your journey of learning. You have not only achieved something great, but you have invested in your and your family's future. And to those who helped you get here, I say thank you for a job well done. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it would seem appropriate at this time to remember this is our graduand celebration. Out of courtesy to others, if you or your children require a break, please feel welcome to use some of the family-friendly spaces outside the auditorium. It is my pleasure to invite the Vice-Chancellor of the University, Professor Geraldine Mackenzie, to the lectern.
I now call on the Honourable Dame Quentin Bryce, AD, CVO, to come forward. Chancellor, the University of Southern Queensland confers the honorary degree of Doctor of the University only after great forethought and deliberation. It is a rare honour awarded to those who have provided distinguished service to the community and or USQ. Today, the Honourable Dame Quentin Bryce, AD, CVO, joins a small but remarkable group of honorary graduates, and she does the University a great honour in accepting the award of Doctor of the University. At 17, Dame Quentin began studying law at the University of Queensland, one of only 2 women in her cohort, and was admitted to the bar in 1965, a year after marrying Michael Bryce, whom she met in primary school. As a young mother with 5 children, Dame Quentin taught at the University of Queensland Law School from 1968 until 1983. Dame Quentin has enjoyed a rich and distinguished career as an academic, lawyer, community and human rights advocate, senior public officer, university college principal, and vice-regal representative, not just in Queensland, but also for Australia. Her contribution to advancing human rights and equality, the rights of women and children, and the welfare of the family was recognised in her appointment as an officer of the Order of Australia in 1988 and a Companion of the Order of Australia in 2003. In March 2014, the then Prime Minister Tony Abbott announced that Dame Quentin had become a Dame in the Order of Australia. On the 5th of September 2008, she was sworn in as Australia's 25th Governor-General. As the first woman to take up the office, She remains a pioneer in contemporary Australian society, and yet one who brings more than 40 years of experience in reform, community building and leadership to the role. Her term concluded in March 2014. Chancellor, in recognition for her distinguished service to the community, I have great pleasure in presenting to you the Honourable Dame Quentin Bryce, AD, CVO, for conferral of the Honorary Award of Doctor of the University Honoris Causa, to which she has already been admitted by Council. I now call Mrs. Helen Fletcher to come to the stage. Chancellor, the Honorary Award of Professor Emeritus is conferred upon former professors of the University of Southern Queensland in recognition of their distinguished academic service. Professor Ronelle Irwee passed away on 10th of March 2017, aged 64 years. Since commencing with USQ in 1998, she made many significant contributions to the university. In particular, as Professor of Management, Ronelle's commitment to research and the support of postgraduate students stood out as a contribution which will have an ongoing impact in her discipline area for years to come. Ronelle is fondly remembered in the university by her colleagues and her students for her warmth, sense of collegiality and constant striving for excellence. Before commencing at USQ, Ronelle had already distinguished herself as an academic scholar. She was a professor in the Graduate School of Management, University of Pretoria in South Africa, and also one of only 30 technical advisors to the South African Parliament during the rewriting of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. Ronelle was honoured to have worked for Professor Mandela. At USQ, Ronelle made notable contributions in various roles, including Head of School and Director of the Australian Graduate School of Business, as well as the Master of Business Administration Director. She was a popular and very successful Principal Supervisor of high degree research students, with over 20 Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Business Administration graduates herself, plus assisting many more. Ronelle was a well-regarded member of various committees and boards, both within QUT and also within her professional field more broadly. She provided a consistently high level of service which is of considerable benefit to the university and the wider academic community. Ronelle was particularly instrumental in the development of USQ's Women Network over the years and continued to serve women at USQ in a variety of ways. Her warmth and integrity earned her the respect of many of those of us who knew her. Chancellor, in recognition of outstanding academic service to the scholarly and/or university communities, I present Professor Ronelle Irwee's family with the posthumous conferral of her honorary title of Emeritus Professor. I now call on Professor Peter Goodall to come forward. Chancellor, the Honorary Award of Professor Emeritus is conferred upon former professors of the University of Southern Queensland in recognition of their distinguished academic service. Professor Goodall retired from USQ in December 2012, having served the university in a distinguished manner at the executive level for a number of years, while at the same time continuing his scholarly achievements. As an Australian academic and author, Professor Goodall's specialist studies into medieval literature, especially Chaucer, and the 20th century literature of Orwell have been acclaimed across the globe. His work is often cited among literary theorists as groundbreaking and sometimes provocative in challenging the ascendancy of popular culture and national identity. Professor Goodall was Dean of the Faculty of Arts from August 2007 to December 2012, having already established himself as an able academic manager as Acting Dean of Humanities at Macquarie University. While at USQ, Professor Goodall navigated the faculty through a substantial change process where he distinguished himself by balancing the structural and academic needs of the university with those of his staff. At the same time, Professor Goodall gave fine academic leadership to the faculty. He gave excellent mentoring to the associate deans and heads of school. During his tenure, he initiated and developed the research areas covered by the faculty and strongly supported the research endeavours of staff. He was and remains a passionate champion of social justice, equity and fairness, and while at USQ, he was also Pro-Vice-Chancellor Social Justice, where he laid down much of the foundations on which USQ's ongoing activity and achievement in the social justice area is based. He also oversaw the activities of the Open Access College and the Centre for Australian Indigenous Knowledges. Chancellor, in recognition of his outstanding academic service to the scholarly and university communities, I have great pleasure in presenting to you Professor Peter Goodall for conferral of the honorary title of Emeritus Professor. Ladies and gentlemen, it now gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our graduation speaker for this afternoon's ceremony, the Honourable Dame Quentin Bryce, AD CVO.
Chancellor, Deputy Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, graduands. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I pay my respect to the traditional keepers, the Giabal and Djarowa people, and I acknowledge the debt of gratitude I owe to wise Indigenous women who've taught me across my life what it means to be an elder. I'm truly delighted to be back in your elegant, charming city that I know and love. Coming up the range this morning, my mind was flooded by the melodious writing of Henry Kendall, one of our finest poets, master of his own lyrical field. Grey winter hath gone like a wearisome guest, and behold, in repayment, September comes in with the winds of the west, and the spring in her raiment. Toowoomba is admired for its sense of civic responsibility, rich contribution to the arts, to our economy, the prosperity of our state. We are charmed by the grandeur of landscape, gorgeous gardens, glorious grand trees reaching out, freshness of early mornings, soft afternoon light as shadows grow on park lawns. For my generation, you have always been recognised foremost as a place where education is at the very heart. I have observed with respect the way your much-loved institutions of teaching and learning maintain proud traditions, the ones that really matter, and at the same time are thoroughly contemporary, innovative and relevant. Getting the balance right is a challenge that demands constant attention and adaptability in our fast-changing world. It calls for leadership that is imaginative, purposeful, courageous. Professor Mackenzie, may I offer you my very warmest best wishes on your first week in office as Vice-Chancellor. I'm delighted to be on stage with you as you take up this role, one that carries responsibilities of enormous import and opportunity. Graduands, it is an honour to be with you on this special occasion, one you will look back to with affection and appreciation always. The completion of a rigorous course of study, pushing yourself with heart and nerve and sinew. A marker in the most important journey of all, to the centre of oneself, to understanding oneself, to being oneself with authenticity and integrity. I've been thinking very deeply about you, about your futures. I care about them. A grandmother takes seriously the task of giving advice and speaking from the heart on a splendid academic occasion like this one. Before I do, I want to thank the university for making this a most memorable day for me. I am honoured by your gesture that recognises my own journey, begun as a little girl from a little bush town in central Western Queensland, inspired by noble ideals of justice and fairness, of changing the world, aspirations formed in teenage years at boarding school that I held close and firm in my heart, and they have been there ever since. My friends, this is a time for the university to take pride in its efforts to build a centre of excellence with its own distinct character and spirit. 2017 marks for you significant achievements. 50 years as a place of higher education, 25 as a university, 30,000 students from 92 countries at the forefront of the online learning charge. This shows that you are tech-savvy and that you are self-disciplined. It demonstrates that you continue to open up further avenues for tertiary study for our country, particularly for postgraduates, for mixed mode courses that provide flexibility for undergrads, for professionals to enhance qualifications. I congratulate the university on your pioneering contribution to distance education, your continuous development of expertise in this exciting field. And I know from my frequent visits that the Toowoomba community, this region, greatly values its university. A key feature of your influential and important relationship shines through the way USQ gives priority to research and programs that respond to local needs. We Australians never take our universities for granted. We are intensely interested in them. Every family wants the best for their kids and works hard for their education. Certainly, my parents did for my sisters and me. We are grateful for the investment our nation made in our education. Graduands, allow me a little nostalgia, remembrance of carefree, halcyon days on campus, transition from girlhood to womanhood, the tumult of it all, the anticipation, the adventure, the learning, the wonderful characters, soaking it all up. By the time I graduated and was admitted to the bar, I was married to Michael and expecting our first baby. We set off for Europe, established family life and independence in the midst of extraordinary social change. Emerging feminism, the swinging 60s of London, political action in France. After a couple of years back home to get on with it, for me, returned to university as a tutor, then lecturer at law school. What a privilege it is, I learned, to be a teacher. It calls on every capacity. Too often, we fail to acknowledge the profession as we should. What teachers give at every level from early childhood on. I was the only woman on staff, and I suspect that the tutorial timetable was set around my breastfeeding. How lucky I was to have a head of school who got it about women who wanted to work and have a family. Exhilarating, chaotic years, learning about neighbourhood, community, activism, how to get things done, working with others for the reforms we needed: equal pay, maternity leave, childcare, superannuation, juvenile justice. We acquired valuable skills, fundraising, organising, media, lobbying. Experiences in my 20s that led to a career in human rights law and practice in grassroots, national and international machinery. At every step, deep personal, professional and political commitment to my work. Fine colleagues instilled in me an understanding of the ethos of public service. Generous-hearted people encouraged me, gifted leaders, fine intellects, hard-working teams. Then university again, living in a community of scholars at Women's College in the University of Sydney. Still in touch, I'm impressed by their selflessness, service, accomplishment. Ladies and gentlemen, during vice-regal years in Queensland and as Governor-General, I had the honour to serve our community in a unique way, seeing the very best of fellow Australians in every field: science, medical research, music, theatre, business, in diplomacy, in military service on my visits to Afghanistan, to sacred ceremonies, the sacrifice of Australians in war, volunteers, hands-on. You can always count on them in the crises, bushfires, floods, on the road to recovery. Every day, in quiet corners, compassion and care in spades. And now I'm on campus again. At QUT, my office looks out to lush tropical gardens, kookaburras, bunya pines. I love my conversations with scholars. I eavesdrop on theirs sometimes. I'm encouraged by their altruism, their commitment to human rights, translating them into practice through involvement in organisations in our region, in the developing world, and here in Australia. I've been thinking about this in recent weeks as I've travelled in Scandinavia, Russia, Poland, Germany. Being far from home in places new to me brought wider perspectives, the big picture, a different, more reflective lens, a keener awareness of our troubled world, of 55,000 children killed in Syria, in Yemen, more than 220,000 with cholera, a preventable disease, women and girls abused in unspeakable ways. I remember my time in the Zatari refugee camp in Jordan, mothers with little ones beside, who pitifully asked, "Why don't we matter?" Yes, sobering, distressing thoughts on your day of celebration and achievement, but I know that these grave issues resonate deeply with young Australians, with your generation. It is your concern, your awareness, your ambition to make a difference that gives me and my generation optimism, hope, and determination. My friends, graduation ushers in changes that can sometimes seem a little unsettling, even a bit scary. But I have learned over and again that they can be exhilarating too, that things do work out. I look back on disappointments, things I missed out on, and in hindsight I see they meant another door opened. Your fields of study in creative arts, media, education, humanities, communication are absolutely vital to our community, to our country. Your capacity for problem solving, innovation, creativity, exploration, your expanding minds, brain power, curiosity are what we need. I can't forecast your careers, but I can share with you a few insights and ideas from lessons that I have learned. First up, take good care of yourself so that you develop and strengthen the inner resources, the resilience you will need in the dry gullies, the tough times, the perseverance it will take to pursue your dreams. Take charge of your own agenda. Make time for quietness and reflection, for the lovely things in life, for paintings, music, art, poetry, romance, theatre, water's edge, rainforest. My friends, I am in awe of the way you are so connected, so global, so fast, but sometimes that intense connectedness worries me. Don't lose the art of conversation, will you? Face to face, I mean, with warmth, openness, humour, good listening. That's how friendships begin. Friendships that endure and reassure and are essential to a good life. Never forget that the most effective tool we have is our voice. Use yours to speak about issues dear to your heart and your mind. The values that have brought you here, that have guided you, that have been your touchstones. Don't turn away from the confronting and the horrible, like violence against women. Be mindful of the unfinished business of constitutional recognition for Indigenous Australians. Our nation is at a defining time in their long struggle for equality and justice. Be open to opportunities for compassion, for kindness, for service. Grab them in both hands. I'm counting on you to be bold, to be bold, to be bold. Graduands, I wish you the best of everything. Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know how honoured I am to be joining the distinguished alumni of the University of Southern Queensland. You do me great honour. Thank you, my friends.
Thank you, Dame Bryce, for your insightful and inspiring speech and for sharing your lessons learned. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join with me again in thanking the Honourable Dame Quentin Bryce for her graduation address. Ladies and gentlemen, graduation ceremonies are one of the most colourful and significant traditions of universities. As part of today's celebration, it is with pleasure that we now present for you the musical interlude. The Harmony Wednesdays is an a cappella group formed by USQ music lecturer Helen Russell. The group is comprised of current Bachelor of Creative Arts music students in second year or above, music alumni and music lecturers. The group learns much of its repertoire by ear, which is also a method used within USQ music courses to teach theoretical concepts. Performing a wide range of styles, including Baroque, jazz and pop, and featuring arrangements by Helen Russell, the group is excited to perform for the USQ graduation ceremonies today. This arrangement by Emma Dean of You're the Voice was a pioneering choral project as part of the recent Queensland Music Festival, encouraging Australians to unite their voices and turn the tide on domestic violence. The Harmony Wednesdays were amongst the more than 2,000 singers participating in the event at the Suncorp Piazza on July the 29th. Ladies and gentlemen, Harmony Wednesdays. try and understand it. Make a noise and make it clear. Whoa, whoa. We're not gonna sit in silence. We're not gonna live with fear. Whoa, whoa. You're the words, try and understand it. Make a noise and make it clear. Or someone's daughter, or someone's son. How long can we look at each other? Down the barrel of a gun. You're the voice, try and understand it. Make a noise and make it clear. Whoa, we're not gonna sit in silence. We're not gonna live with fear. Whoa, you're the voice, try and understand it. Make a noise and make it clear. Whoa, we're not gonna sit in silence. We're not gonna live with fear. Whoa, you're the voice, try and understand it. We're the voice, and make it clear. You're the voice, and the voice. Whoa, you're the voice, gonna sit in silence. We're the voice, gonna live with fear. Whoa, whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen, the most significant part of graduation ceremonies is when our graduands are formally awarded their degrees by the Chancellor and they receive their testaments from him as evidence of their achievements. Would all graduands and diplomats please stand? Chancellor, I am honoured to present graduands from the disciplines of Business and Commerce, Creative Arts and Media, Humanities and Communication, Information Technology, and Law and Justice. I hereby certify that these graduands have fulfilled all requirements for the awards to be presented.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. With the authority of the Council of the University of Southern Queensland vested in me, I hereby admit you to the degrees and award the diplomas for which you have qualified. I also admit to their degrees and award diplomas to those students who have satisfied all the requirements but who are unable to be with us today. My heartiest congratulations to you all.
Will the graduates and diplomats please be seated?
I now call upon the head of the School of Commerce, Professor Roger Laurie, to present graduates from the discipline of Business and Commerce.
Chancellor, I wish to present the following graduates. For the Master of Business Administration and Master of Professional Accounting, Jawad Ahmad. Clara Chonga. Shail Jindal. Kimberly Webster. Thomas Edmund Williamson. For the Master of Project Management and Master of Business Administration, Anthony John Andrews. Alexander Jacobus de Vet. Ebiyimi Lawani. Paul Jacek Pohoski. Sudha Reddy Somar. Talvinder Singh. David Kaur. Michael Thompson. For the Master of Business, Elijah Chol Alia. Akoy Bol Nguyen. For the Master of Business Administration, Siti Fahana Abu Bakr. Sumeda Ishanta Athukuralai. Gabriel Joseph Dalupirit. Stephen Mark Davidson. Philip Charles Eastman. Philippa Lynn Ellis. Adam Matthew Fennick. Joanne Elaine Fernando Poulet. Yong Hui Fu. Malcolm Dylan Vianney Gunaratnam. Kaz Jonathan Harris Brown. Kei Yu Hu. Sarangi Ilukumbura. Dinesh Priya Dashana Jayalath. Sharaniya Jayasekaran. Samara Jennings. Henny Gadara Dashanika Nimali Karuna Ratne. Juan Roll Derby Lee. Christopher Gerard Miles. Subramaniam Nedunuri. Chai Wen Ong. Brendan John Platt. Neville Suresh Kumar Raval. Carissa Lynn Reck. Adam Roy. Senarath Pathiran Alage Sajiwani Priyanka. Sean Damien Schubert. Zeke Keen Thin. Jacobus Cornelius van der Merwe. Wijikun Nayanika Shureshni. Ravindra Sampath Wijiwantha Disanayaka. Meihui Tsuchu. For the Master of Management, Roisin Duffy. Stacey Cassandra Vale. For the Master of Professional Accounting, awarded with distinction, Sharon Lee Abbott. Cherie Elizabeth Lee Beavis. Awarded with distinction, Binoy Devadatha. Bawana Batari. Roseanne Dorali. Bharat Hamal. Wayne Hobbs. Jasmine Mayhill. Binay Nayak. Rewatch Pandit Sharma. Jigabai Vijaybai Patel. Sophia Suon. For the Master of Professional Accounting Extended, Abdul Jabbar Fraz. For the Master of Project Management, Keely O'Sullivan. Kerry Marie Perrett. Awarded with distinction, Stephen David Petrie. Sonia Plamanova Petrova. For the Graduate Certificate of Business, Gia Gia. Rebecca Rose Klein. Scott Michael Pattinson. Kirsty Jane Penton. Katrina Tregoning. Nicola Suzanne Vartuli. Anna Gia Veloso. For the Bachelor of Business and Bachelor of Information Technology, awarded with distinction and the Faculty Medal, Jessica Kate Thornton. For the Bachelor of Business and Bachelor of Laws, Second Class Honours, Division B, Michelle Claire Wilson. For the Bachelor of Business and Bachelor of Laws, Catherine Lee Gregson. For the Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Business, Zachary Meacham Collins. Awarded with distinction, Abigail Machipisa. Chelsea Ann Mitchener. For the Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Laws, First Class Honours with distinction and the Faculty Medal, Angela Peggy Rose Mason. For the Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Laws, Second Class Honours, Division A, Nathan Lee Fulcher. For the Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Laws, Brooke Emma Ward. For the Bachelor of Business, Thomas James Bell. Taryn Adele Mary Beswick. Toby Joseph Birch. Morgan Lee Dunn. Awarded with distinction and the Faculty Medal, Kate Louise Jersikowski. Felicity Leanne Holder. Joshua Alexander Moore. Cameron John Nichols. Jacinta Jane Payne. Nicole Petrie. Jeffrey Royce Peffer. Glenn Anthony Skinner. Lauren Ann Thomas. James Patrick Toomey. Jacinta Elizabeth Van Gert. Tegan Leah Wright. For the Bachelor of Business Administration, awarded with distinction, Alicia Mary O'Connell. Courtney Ann Todd. For the Bachelor of Business and Commerce, Camilla Violet Fiorentino. Angelina Kiwa. Jessica Pesh. Ahmad Klebo. For the Bachelor of Commerce, awarded with distinction, Renee Patricia Abel. John Dew Arrock. Ian Arthur Atkins. Michael William Bowen. Christy Lee Burns. Mitchell James Cobbin. Bridget Louise Collins. James Contini. Sarah Daly. Awarded with distinction and the Faculty Medal, Tracy Lee Drager. Eloise Fisher. Carla Diane Francis. Awarded with distinction and the Faculty Medal, Leanne Marie Garrett. Monique Stephanie James. Andrew Derek Layton. Isabel Ivy Jean Lee. Marianne Manalo. Uzral Al-Haq. Awarded with distinction and the Faculty Medal, Michaela Lillian Neal. Olivia Mary Pocock. Simon Graham Smith. Justin William Stewart. Alexandra Tateva. Nevena Ray Thornton. Luke Nicholas Top. Mona Lisa Trapp. Ashley Julia Waldorf. Thomas Edward Whiteway. Awarded with distinction, Peter Widerick. Laurel Louise Whittingslow. For the Diploma of Business Administration, Natasha Lee Croft. For the Diploma of Business Foundations, Laura Del Carranza Rushton. Chancellor, that concludes my presentation of graduates from Business and Commerce.
I now call upon the Head of the School of Arts and Communication, Professor Rod McNeill, to present graduates from the disciplines of Creative Arts and Media and Humanities and Communication.
Chancellor, I wish to present graduates from the Bachelor of Applied Media, Mitchell Hook. For the Bachelor of Creative Arts, Carlin Edward Baker. Mace Andrew McGregor. Connor O'Brien. Taylor Ann Romaine. For the Bachelor of Arts, Gillian Ann Farry. For the Master of Arts, Therese Bernadette Heathorn. Malcolm Laurie. Barbara Ann Wagner. For the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Business, Lucy Pamela Lenehan. For the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, awarded with distinction, Mattia Joy Taylor. For the Bachelor of Arts, awarded with distinction and faculty medal, Emily Louise Bailey. Awarded with distinction, Elizabeth Patricia Bennett. Esther Ann Carter. Kate Matilda Chapman. Abby Lauren Cruiser. Jessica Lee Higgins. Brandy Holt. Amy Tanisha McLeod Sheridan. Lachlan James Struthers. Darcy Susanna Sutton. Awarded with distinction and faculty medal, Nancy Webb. For the Bachelor of General Studies, William Alfred Rutherford. Philip Raymond Stiles. For the Bachelor of International Studies, awarded with distinction, Jonathan Ben Thompson. For the Bachelor of Social Science, Kylie Susan March. Rajun Parajili. Janina Caitlin Pryor. For the Associate Degree of General Studies, awarded with distinction, Tri Chu Ti. For the Certificate of University Studies, Faisal Siddiq Ahmed. Farah Hamis. Teresa Susan Titchener. Chancellor, that completes my presentation of graduates from Creative Arts and Media and Humanities and Communication.
I now call upon the head of the School of Agricultural, Computational and Environmental Sciences, Professor Grant Daggard, to present graduates from the disciplines of Information Technology and Law and Justice.
I wish to present the following graduates from the Master of Computing Technology, Anirudh Bhaskar. Sidra Furkan. Ramchara Reddy Guribandi. Upenda Reddy Gumakonda. Pradeep Kuli. Abhil Harsh Reddy Thada. Yan Chan Wu. For the Master of Information Systems, Sri Lekha Ahmed La. Venkata Siva Nangasai Eni Set 3. Sushath Gaud Bodaj. Vamsi Reddy Chaganti. Ravi Kumar Chintahala. Varun Jetty. Param V. Kaur. Nithin Madanan Naduvarthay Zathu. Ahmad Mohideen Mohammed. Sasmitha Ner Ella. Seth Shu Padma. Rakesh Kumar Vishnu Bahale Patel. Ravi Kumar Patel. Sudhi Shish Kumar Soman. Rahul Suresh. Aleem Ahmed Syed. Iftikhar Ahmed Syed. Wasim Ahmed Syed. Ronak Tank. Krishna Chaitanya Vasa. Shakti Good Voriganti. For the Master of Information Systems Extended, Savan Kumar Dashtrabai J. Jar. Hajo Bangeet Singh. For the Bachelor of Information Technology, Jason Andrew Henry. Nuhing Hong Song Ni. Christopher Gerard O'Sullivan. With distinction, Alexandra Jane Pepperell. With distinction, Brandon Luke Weeks. For the Juris Doctor, Hayley Ann Bear. With distinction, Maya Gibson. Ahmed Hamid. Megan Ann Inglis. Kerry Ruffles. With distinction, Kirsty Smith. Jackie Tulang Tam. Jawi Wee. For the Bachelor of Laws Honours, First Class Honours, Stephen Hayes. For the Bachelor of Laws, Jennifer May Diplock. Sky Louise Fullerton. Blair James Gossow. William John Healy. Evelyn Patria Hearn. Hannah Jane Mason. Samantha McLaughlin. Grace Catherine Elizabeth Ollison. For the Graduate Diploma of Learning and Teaching, Sandy William Mackay. For the Master of Engineering Science, Rochelle Nira Rosal. For the Bachelor of Nursing, Joanna Bondock. Hongjun Chu. For the Master of Business Administration, KTM Nirashak Sehra Singha. For the Master of Information Systems, Vamsi Kobari. Sai Karthik Mulprovi. Spandana Malaporu. For the Bachelor of Business, Kathleen Joanne Julmuva. For the Bachelor of Science, Danielle Joanna Forkas. Chancellor, that concludes my presentation of graduates from Information Technology, Law and Justice, Education, Engineering and Built Environment and Health and Community. Thank you.
I now call upon Professor Mark Harvey, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Research and Innovation, to present the doctoral candidates.
Advancements in how we communicate, the way we learn, the medical treatments we receive, the technologies that entertain us, and our understanding of other cultures and other times are all born from research. Research plays a vital role in our society, and although it is often performed in silence, its impact can transform our communities and enhance the quality of our lives. On the stage are the latest generation of researchers who have completed their Doctor of Philosophy studies at the University of Southern Queensland. These are the highest degrees conferred to a student by a university. May each and every one of them have a dynamic and exciting research career, and may the research have a resounding impact in our community. Chancellor, may I present Stephen Mark Duffield for the Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled An Advanced Systemic Lesson Learned Knowledge Model for Project Organisations. Supervisors Associate Professor John Whitty and Associate Professor Barry Todd Hunter. Chancellor, Dr. Stephen Mark Duffield. Chancellor, I wish to present Stanislav Zhanovic for the Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Myth, Representation and Dramatising Catherine the Great. Supervisors Dr. Darryl Chalk and Associate Professor Laurie Johnson. Chancellor, Dr. Stanislav Zhanovic. Chancellor, I wish to present Mohammed Mehdi Raja Ian for the Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled An Investigation of Decision Support Knowledge Production, Transfer and Adoption for IT Outsourcing. Supervisors Professor Aileen Cattisteel and Dr. Michael Lane. Chancellor, Dr. Mohammed Mehdi Raja Ian. Chancellor, I wish to present Jasmine Thomas for the Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Place, Information Technology and Legal Ethics. Supervisors Professor Reid Mortensen and Dr. Francesca Bartlett. Chancellor, Dr. Jasmine Thomas. Chancellor, I wish to present Sanjeev Tiwari for the Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis title An Evaluation of the Broadband Ecosystem in Western Downs Regions. Supervisors Dr. Michael Lane and Associate Professor Khorshid Alam. Chancellor, Dr. Sanjeev Tiwari. Chancellor, that completes my presentation of doctoral graduates.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my great pleasure to invite Ms. Angela Peggy Rose Mason to deliver the valedictory address on behalf of her fellow graduates. Angela graduated today with a Bachelor of Commerce with distinction and Bachelor of Laws, first class honours.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, Guest Speaker, the Honourable Dame Quentin Bryce, AD CBO, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and USQ graduates, good afternoon. To stand before you today, representing my fellow graduates, is a truly humbling experience, and I'm honoured to have been given the opportunity to celebrate this occasion with you all. When I started my degree nearly 5 years ago, graduating was a dream that felt so far away, I dared not think about it. But here we are today, and graduation is no longer a passing thought, a dream, or an aspiration. Today, it is a reality, an achievement that we should all be extremely proud of. Congratulations to all of us. When I sat down to write this speech, I experienced a bout of writer's block. I found myself, for the 100th time since starting university, staring at an all too familiar blank Word doc. I asked my partner for some advice, and he said, "Write something that's relevant to everyone." Well, that is much easier said than done. But it did get me thinking about some of the experiences us as USQ graduates may have shared. For example, that moment in each semester where we resolved that next semester we would definitely not fall behind in our readings or studies. Or, perhaps like me, you recall the temporary relief when you finish an exam, but then soon remember you have another at 8:30 a.m. the next day. I think I speak on behalf of all USQ graduates today when I say that experiencing these things together has instilled in us a shared pride in what we have achieved as USQ graduates. Our university journeys, though, are not limited to the experiences we have shared. Each of us has our own unique experience. We have all been to university for a different reason, learnt different things along the way, and taken away something different from our studies. And this is what makes finishing our degrees so significant. Our degrees are not just a testament to our commitment, diligence, ambition, and abilities. They represent so much more to each of us. So, amongst all of the excitement, photographs, and congratulatory hugs today, I urge you to take stock of what you have achieved, but most importantly, what it means to you. I'm sure we would all like to recognise the many who have contributed to our success. Our spouses, partners, parents, family, friends, grandparents, children, and siblings, thank you. Thank you for your unwavering support and love throughout these years. You have been dedicated and patient in the trying times, and now you can celebrate and share in our triumph today. We could not have done it without you. I would like to extend our gratitude and sincere appreciation to the University of Southern Queensland for providing us with the opportunity and the facilities to further our learning and personal growth. Thank you to all the professional USQ staff for making our experience here so enriching. So often you made our days that little bit easier, and we know that your support was always just a simple chat away. I've reserved my final thanks for those most essential to our learning, the USQ academic staff. The quality of teaching at USQ is one of the most important factors in determining study satisfaction. The professional advice from our lecturers, the challenges they posed us, and the wisdom they imparted has made for an extremely satisfying experience. They've fostered a culture of inquiry in us and instilled a desire for lifelong learning. They will undoubtedly come across our familiar faces over the years as we're drawn back to the university as USQ alumni. Once again, thank you for your tireless commitment in supporting us. Lastly, congratulations again to my fellow graduates. Our careers will no doubt take us down different paths, but by applying the "it's a small world" theory, I'm certain we'll cross paths again in the future. I hope we can all use our common USQ bond to cement our future professional relationships. Thank you, everybody, and enjoy the rest of this wonderful day.
valedictorian address at graduation has a long tradition and is delivered by an outstanding graduate as a closing statement. As a faculty medalist, Bachelor of Commerce with distinction, and first-class honours graduate in law, Angela truly is an outstanding graduate. In the spirit of your theme, Angela, of giving thanks, Angela, thank you for sharing your journey at USQ. Thank you for distilling what it is like to work so hard through the hard times and the good times. And thank you for reminding us of how much a degree and education really means to each student, their family and friends. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me one more time in thanking Angela Mason. Now, would all of our graduates please stand? It is my great honour to welcome you as alumni of the University of Southern Queensland. The award of a university degree carries many privileges, but like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. USQ charges you as graduates of the University of Southern Queensland to use what you have learned for your own betterment and for the betterment of the community. USQ charges you to use the skills and knowledge you have acquired with rigour and integrity to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and discovery. USQ charges you to remember the lessons USQ has taught you about the worth of others, particularly those who have not had the opportunities you have had. USQ charges you to set goals and to continue the hard work that has brought you so far. And in all that you do, USQ charges you to be deserving of the good name of the University of Southern Queensland. Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the formal proceedings. My congratulations to all graduates, and again my congratulations to our honorary award recipients. And thank you, the audience, for your attendance, your support, your courtesy and your patience. I wish you all a safe return journey to your home and all the very best to you all for your future success. Good afternoon.
Ladies, gentlemen and graduates, very shortly the academic procession will depart and will be followed by a procession of our new graduates. I cordially invite each of you to join the graduates and university academic staff for some refreshments in the marquee on the front lawn. If you need assistance in finding the marquee, please ask one of our friendly staff who will be able to direct you. The official graduation photographers will be available in the Armitage Theatre. It would be most fitting to give the graduates a rousing farewell as they proceed out of the theatre. They have earned it and deserve your thunderous applause. So please remain with us as we continue to celebrate this occasion with our new graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand for the departure of the academic procession?